They are wrecking just like that. Oh, a humongous impact. Just like that, we have ourselves some drama on hand.
Things are heating up.
Jack forward for the lead.
I think Roger got it. I think Roger got the win.
Is in the air. He is Dogecoin to the moon.
We are live at the virtual Darlington Speedway. This is the throwback event for the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. It's the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. I'm alongside Justin Clapper, who I know is very excited to get this event going. It's been a lot of planning, a lot of last up-to-the-minute paint schemes getting thrown in there. This is going to be an exciting event, and I can't wait to bring it to all of you. Justin, what you feeling right now, my friend?
Well, Bo, a very, very exciting evening, ladies and gentlemen. Big changes coming to the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational, and a lot of storylines tonight. First off, your boy back behind the wheel. First time in a few weeks, driving for one night only, the number 52 machine. We'll talk about that later tonight as we go through throwback paint schemes. Paying a little homage to my stepfather and his beautiful original throwback scheme that he ran on his dirt car in New Egypt Speedway. But we'll talk more on that later on in the show. But storylines, we talked about it. Well, big rule changes coming this evening after some of the events over the last few weeks. You're looking at a rule book that was made official and posted to all of our drivers and even available to our fans. If you want to check us out on the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational Facebook page, you can go ahead and see that rule book and get a full understanding of how we mandate the rules and what the rules are for this league, as well as a new admin member. That's right, we have an official admin tonight. Justin White will join us, and he will run our race control. We have hired somebody to come in and do a great job in controlling the chaos, as we like to say, here in the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. But tonight, it's throwback night, ladies and gentlemen, and the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational wants to thank LKN Edits for hopping on board as the official sponsor for tonight's Southern 260 throwback night for the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. Speaking of throwbacks, we're looking at Dominic Cahart's DeWalt Matt Kenseth throwback scheme here. Fellow Wisconsin driver in Dominic Cahart, as well as Matt Kenseth throwing it back here. Fans, go ahead and hop on our Facebook page on Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational and get your votes in. At the conclusion of stage number 2, we will announce a winner. Prize money will go to the best in show. So go ahead and get those votes in, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's very exciting. I can't wait to announce the winner. I know one of the early runners was Tony Burleson. Actually looking at Cameron Head now, who is one of the guys that actually had hand in a lot of the paint schemes that are out here tonight. So shout out to him for all of his hard work, getting those paint jobs done on quick notice and doing a really great job at them.
Absolutely. And so I want to go ahead and let Cameron know, because I know he has a beautiful scheme, and I want to make sure it loads up.
Yeah, it looks like it. We don't have it yet. There's one of my favorite ones. I'm going to have to hop over here to Chase Leahy. I think actually he just jumped off. But one of my favorite schemes is that 34 with the taped on numbers from the number 1. That is a good look. It's a simple scheme, but later on we'll show you exactly what the, I believe it was a quarter midget that he had that looked eerily similar to that.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of guys paying tribute to past racing careers of theirs or past family member vehicles that were ran years ago, including myself and the number 52 Chevrolet. Paying homage to Dennis Seeley Jr., my stepdad, and one bad wheel man up there in New Egypt Speedway in the Outlaw Stocks. He had this paint scheme, and I want to say about 2015. This was the original scheme to the car he now runs in the Outlaw Stocks, Monte Carlo there, and we're even able to find the original logo.
It is a good looking machine. From where you're sitting on pit road, I don't have a lot of angles at her. Here, I'm not getting where's the far chase one? There's a good one somewhere around here.
Hang on a minute. I believe I do have to.
Looks like it's loaded up.
I'm wondering if you need to reload your training paints here, my man, because it's showing. For some reason, it is not hiding my number on your screen.
Well, I know that all of the trading paint stuff was loaded and restarted, so that is troublesome. I'll certainly be able to, throughout the night, keep up with the numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're talking about here is we do these paint schemes that get special numbers on them, and they may be numbers that aren't exactly aligning with the numbers that other drivers are running. And if we have that, it sometimes can get confusing. Now, I believe Dominic is supposed to be in the 58, is he not?
He is, and that scheme is correct, but I'm supposed to have green numbers on my car, and it's not showing my custom scheme for some reason. It's showing my sim stamped, and I'm not too sure why, but we'll get a look into that and get that figured out and taken care of.
Yeah, you go ahead and figure that out, my friend, because I know you're going to want to work on that. I'm actually going to go over and look at this beautiful Mark Martin scheme by Brandon Cash. He's a big Mark Martin fan throughout his years, and it's nice to see that beautiful Valvoline scheme. That's one of my favorite schemes from way back in the day, so that's a good looking ride right there. Does a little burnout as he enters the track for this practice. This is Darlington. This is the Lady in Black. This is the track that is far, far too tough to tame. I know that when I tried to practice, I did not have a very successful run at it. And I know if you've been joining us throughout the weeks, you know that that's pretty much always my theme, but I mean it here. This place, if you step out of line, make one little mistake, it's just about over for you. And that wall is going to hit you. We're going to have so many Darlington stripes by the time this event is done that a lot of these pretty paint schemes that a lot of people put hard work into, well, most of that paint's going to be riding that red and white wall there. Robert Walton now putting down some good lap puts. Boom, there you see a stripe, just like that, trying to get everything he can, makes contact with that wall, and it's see ya. But still, beautiful Bill Elliott paint scheme, and just like that, because it's practice, boom, he's right back out there, all good to go. We're going to take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, while we have just under 20 minutes left in practice. Get a word from our sponsors real quick before we go into one of our favorite segments y'all can have this week. Be right back for the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the time to get your landscape lighting system tuned up for the summer months. You're going to have people over your house. You want to have your home, back deck, back patio, around your swimming pool, all your landscape lighting tuned up and ready. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to get that scheduled for you.
It's 8 a.m. Your car's engine is already hot. Now it's time to look the part. At Paint Correction by Associated, we know that it's not enough to just offer the best products and services. You need the best customer experience in auto detailing. We test all of our products on our cars long before we trust them with your ride. We start with our best foot forward, a state-of-the-art water treatment system yielding the best results for our detailing products. A precise, meticulous, and caring service with unmatched results. The job's done right. Your car's not like new. It's so much more. Paint Correction by Associated. Call today to schedule your appointment. Cars aren't just our passion. They're our career.
Hey Dad, remember how I was gonna change the name? Well, I've been dreaming up something new. Take this great beer cooler and all this cold beer in it.
Keep those prices low, baby.
Low.
How's my friendly staff?
Groovy.
Toss me a dog.
Some dream, huh? Whoa! Midway Liquors, Route 40 in Joppa.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC Custom Lawn Sprinklers. I want to wish everybody a safe race during the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. We provide custom automatic underground lawn sprinkler solutions to folks in Maryland, Northern Virginia, and the DC areas. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342.
RL Productions Commercial Advertising. Promoting your success story. Affordable cross-platform strategies. Tailored to your ideal audience. Serving Maryland business. With global brand elevation. For more, visit rlproductioncrew.com.
Tiki Lee's Dock Bar is Maryland's newest island oasis. Put your boat in the slip, toes in the sand, and a drink in your hand. Featuring heat-crushing crushes, the frostiest frozen concoctions, and brews both local and domestic. The kitchen serving up savory seafood and the best pub grub in town, including our gigantic Chesapeake crab pretzel. Tiki Lee's is fun for the whole family and for friends. Only minutes from Hart Miller Island and over 60 boat slips, too. Tiki Lee's Dock Bar in Sparrows Point off of Exit 42. Have a staycation that feels like a vacation.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. And before Justin has to go in and do a race control meeting with all the admins and talk to all the drivers about these fancy new rules we have, we're going to do our favorite segment of the week. Y'all Can Have This League. And with it being Throwback Week, this is a very special edition of Y'all Can Have This League, and it involves throwbacks to some of the best moments so far this season on Y'all Can Have This League. This first one, still my personal number one hit for blowovers in our league this year. That 13 launched it through the air. That was a
absolute barrel roller.
Like, just the
up,
impact.
down, and all around.
That was so violent.
Just had to be a 63 right into it, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's my own league, and I was about ready to hand it right over to you, Bo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's the one for you to make it nice and dizzy. Yep, that was a lot of fun, but hey, we had the closest finish at the end of that one. But no matter what, you and Matt Cherry were both saying, y'all can have this league. Now, this we go back to Bristol weeks and weeks ago, where we had another flip. But at Bristol, of all places, our buddy Tony Burleson, definitely not what he's supposed to be seeing at a short track and the kind of damage you expect to see at a short track.
And I know he was not thrilled about this one. And he was ready to say, y'all can have this league with this flip.
And now,
a great run turned upside down.
Now this one, my overall favorite and least favorite.
It never gets old.
Chase Leahy blows up.
I mean, this might be the only time it is fully acceptable for a grown man to use TikTok sounds.
Yes, that was a moment for me to just scream bloody murder. Y'all can have this league, as Chase Leahy blew the motor right in front of me, nowhere to go. That was a oh no moment.
Well, Bo, thank you so much for everything you do with this league, and I hope you have a great broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and start off the new future of this league with this drivers meeting, and really looking forward to that, and what Justin White can bring to the table as an admin. We'll bring him in post-race and get his mindset on everything. But Bo, good luck up there in the booth. Feel free to chime in with us and talk to us in the admin booth whenever you please, my man.
Sounds good, sir. You enjoy. Yeah, I wish I could be a fly on the wall for some of the guys that are going to hear these new rules and probably not like it. All right, as we bid Justin farewell until the start of this thing, we're 10 minutes from the green flag, well, I should say qualifying. Looking at Steven Lashinsky, he's a guy that came, talk about a throwback, from our Hellraiser days last season in the Xbox League that started all of this momentum. And it's nice to see him in his first race of the year, I believe, in that very cool Pabst Blue Ribbon throwback.
Attention all drivers, if you can all exit.
All right, that was Justin you heard there for a minute. He is having everybody leave the track as they get ready to do this meeting. And while they do that, since we're not going to have any action on the track, we will go ahead and pull ourselves off the track as well. As you see that scary number 40 crawling down, that's the guy you got to look for. I feel like Ryan Truex has something for him tonight in his own personal throwback. But we're going to take a quick commercial break as we get ready for tonight's Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. Thank you all for hanging with us.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC Custom Lawn Sprinklers. I want to wish everybody a safe race during the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. We provide custom automatic underground lawn sprinkler solutions to folks in Maryland, Northern Virginia, and the DC areas. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342.
RL Productions Commercial Advertising. Promoting your success story. Affordable cross-platform strategies. Tailored to your ideal audience. Serving Maryland business. With global brand elevation. For more, visit rlproductioncrew.com.
Tiki Lee's Dock Bar is Maryland's newest island oasis. Put your boat in the slip, toes in the sand, and a drink in your hand. Featuring heat-crushing crushes, the frostiest frozen concoctions, and brews both local and domestic. The kitchen serving up savory seafood and the best pub grub in town, including our gigantic Chesapeake crab pretzel. Tiki Lee's is fun for the whole family and for friends. Only minutes from Hart Miller Island and over 60 boat slips, too. Tiki Lee's Dock Bar in Sparrows Point off of exit 42. Have a staycation that feels like a vacation.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. There are just under 3 minutes left in this practice session. Really exciting to get this going. I know that the drivers are excited to get back out on track after that meeting. Just to give you a breakdown of some, oh boy, Roger Debo locks it down with a bunch of, there's a bunch of cars wrecking all over the place. Try and get an overhead look at that. There's a lot of guys roughing them up here in practice. Only a couple minutes left, trying to see what kind of speed they can put down. You got guys like Ryan Truex up at the top of the board yet again. He's always fast. He's been fast the last couple weeks and even got himself some wins. But don't forget, everybody, feel free, if you're watching live, to jump into the comments and enjoy the stream chat. I will chat with you throughout the event. If you have any questions, feel free to bring them to me or the drivers. As you know, we'll have the in-race reporters available. You can see just how loose these cars are as you see the 40 slip sliding around. And I appreciate Cricker52 jumping in here. That is Dennis Seeley himself, the driver of that 52 back in the day. Hand painted that car, the original. I mean, that's so cool. Appreciate him jumping in and telling us a little bit more about that scheme, because it's a sick looking ride, and I can't wait to see Justin throw some laps down.
Well, Bo, I want to give some last words with you, and I'm jump back in the booth with you, my man.
Yeah, I'd love to hear how that meeting went, and maybe hear even what some of these new rules are that we can expect to see.
Yeah, it actually went pretty smooth. Just a lot of having our new admin take over to control a lot of these rules. You know, we're not going to have guys intentionally wrecking is something that we don't want to have happen in this league, and we no longer want to have any on-track activity that's not, good for the league. You know, we want to keep everybody having fun and having a good time. And unfortunately, we have some bad incidents where drivers took a little bit of advantage of the lack of authority. So now that we kind of have that tonight, it should be interesting. It should be a lot cleaner of a race, but still very hard racing, but no unnecessary wrecks. But with that being said, Bo, I do need to have a couple words with you off the air, if you don't mind.
Well, I'd love nothing more than to have some words with you off the air. We will, with that, we've taken our fair share of commercial breaks, but what we'll do is take us one more, and then that I'll give you a commercial free block when I feel fit. But we will talk about whatever you need to talk about, sir, and then we'll get back to it.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the time to get your landscape lighting system tuned up for the summer months. You're going to have people over your house. You want to have your home, your back deck, back patio, around your swimming pool, all your landscape lighting tuned up and ready. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to get that scheduled for you.
It's 8 a.m. Your car's engine is already hot. Now it's time to look the part. At Paint Corrections by Associated, we know that it's not enough to just offer the best products and services. You need the best customer experience in auto detailing. We test all of our products on our cars long before we trust them with your ride. We start with our best foot forward, a state-of-the-art water treatment system yielding the best results for our detailing products. A precise, meticulous, and caring service with unmatched results. The job's done right. Your car's not like new. It's so much more. Paint correction by Associated. Call today to schedule your appointment. Cars aren't just our passion, they're our career.
Hey Dad, remember how I was gonna change the name? Well, I've been dreaming up something new. Take this great beer cooler and all this cold beer in it.
Keep those prices low, baby.
Low.
How's my friendly staff?
Groovy.
Toss me a dog.
Some dream, huh? Whoa! Midway Liquors, Route 40 in Joppa.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we return from commercial break, again, I appreciate everybody hanging in there with us. Look at these throwback photos here. Some of our Wall Stadium guys that will be in tonight's event. Robert Walton, Ray Fataruso, Kyle Sisko, some of those guys who do real racing on the weekends and then come and hang out with us on these days. Certainly appreciate their participation and love those throwback photos of their old rides and some of their racing days that are not of the virtual kind. We got 6 minutes into this qualifying session, and you can already see them Truex boys sitting at the top. Ryan Truex right now is your pole winner. We'll have to see if anybody else can stop that. Tyler Truex almost did with just a little bit of a slower lap. You can do that here just by losing the right rear just a little bit out of turns 4 or out of turn 2, because that thing comes out quick when you try and get that wheel straight, when you try and exit. I mean, they're just so free. These cars are remarkably free. It is hard to keep them under you, and I give these drivers a lot of credit because it's not going to be easy today. But I just want to let everybody know that we thank you so much for once again coming out for the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational, especially on this throwback night, a very special night for our guys. And we want to thank Roger Diebold, one of our race reporters as well as competitors, for sponsoring tonight's event. His Lake Norman Edits company that specializes in photography, videography, and drone aerial footage is our sponsor for tonight, and they have given us some nice payouts for these drivers, including a prize to the #1 paint scheme that will be announced at the end of stage 2. So stay tuned for that. And if you know where the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational group is on Facebook, you can vote for your favorite paint scheme. And I look forward to showing you more of those live when qualifying is over, as well as you can see them online where all the guys have uploaded them. So we'll take a look over at the stream chat and see. Oh, we got Crickery's talking with us again. Again, sorry everybody for some of those commercial breaks earlier. We had an issue where iRacing was giving us audio that we didn't want, and we didn't want a situation where we had in Talladega a few weeks ago, where we let a couple words that the FCC won't let us be about. So just wanted to get that straightened out, and we're all good now. And I promise I will bring you that crab pretzel when we get up to New Jersey. I will get me a couple crab pretzels on the way, as well as a couple other prizes. And for a Mountain Dew and some Garth Brooks tickets. I like the way you talk. Well, and I won't tell you, but I will tell you that I'm drinking a Mountain Dew right now, and it may or may not be just a Mountain Dew. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, It's time for opening ceremonies. We're down to 3 minutes before it's the start of the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. Let's go trackside for opening ceremonies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red-glared, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wow, some pipes there. That is actually Roger Diebold's cousin. Thank you to her for that amazing national anthem. She did a heck of a job. We are just about a minute away from the drop of the green flag. Ryan Truex still holds on to that coveted pole position where clean air is going to matter. Let's get ready now as Roger Diebold's going to check in and tell them all to fire these engines.
Hey everybody, I'm Roger Diebold, the owner of Lake Norman Edits. Gentlemen, no, this doesn't feel right at all.
Now this is more like it. Drivers, start your engines.
And just like that, it is time to fire those engines. Thank you, Roger. Thank you to Lake Norman Edits for the sponsorship this evening. I'm so excited to get this treacherous, dangerous Darlington Speedway up to speed with all these guys gridded up right now. We will jump in. Who's first gridding up? It is Greg Vale. We will hop on here and take you through the grid as soon as these cars load up. While we wait for that, just to show everybody, beautiful weather tonight, sponsored by RL Productions. We got not a cloud in the sky. The moon is out, and just by the looks of things, it might be a full moon. Darlington Raceway is a 1.3 mile track, egg shape kind of track. They had to do some extra tweaking there to fit everything in when they decided to build this thing. Track temp's nice and cool. That's going to play even further into these weird conditions that this old surface creates. Now we'll walk you through the grid as we get ready to start the Lake Norman Edits 260. Ryan Truex held onto that pole, which I'm not going to say I called it, but I called it. But starting right alongside of him is the 69 of Tyler Truex and that beautiful Dale Jr. Motorsports throwback scheme. As we go through the grid, you see Matt Garrett in the 19 and a nice looking Wawa paint scheme, and Chase Leahy in the 34 and one of my favorite schemes out there with those taped on numbers. Next row, we've got Ryan Zunk, one of our old Hellraiser guys, in that beautiful 2001 era Jeff Gordon DuPont Flame scheme. My favorite paint scheme that's ever been created. Next to Roger Diebold, our in-race reporter, sponsor of tonight's event, and the guy that got these engines all fired up in a Christopher Bell throwback scheme from when he used to pit on Christopher Bell's car. And then we got Cameron Henn returning to us after doing a lot of these paint schemes you see out here, and that beautiful throwback in that number 5, next to Matt Cherry in the 48 with that Jimmy Johnson throwback. Behind them you see Dave Burns in that Krispy Kreme 55 that we've seen these last couple weeks. Good looking ride. Can't wait to see what he can do after strong performances last week. Next to him, we've got the 35 of Sawyer Ott, a new driver with a nice throwback there, but a new driver that we have not seen yet, but he's a License A, which means he's licensed to lead. Look forward to seeing him get up to the front. And then after, whoops, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, hit the wrong button. Rookie. Then you got the clap in the 52. Looks like we're getting a little jumbled up here. Yeah, got some guys that are out of order right now, but the clap will be in the 52 once he gets loaded up here. There, he may have EOL'd himself. Josh O'Connor in that 9 also starting next to him. We'll go through the grid now because I know that green flag's getting ready to wave here in a minute. Brandon Cash in the 11, Anthony Burleson in that 79. And Michael Grant in the 904. A lot of beautiful paint schemes. The pace car is off. The green flag waves. This is the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260, and Tyler Truex gets off to a terrible start. And that did bring out a caution. Terrible start for Tyler Truex, and that involved a lot of vehicles right there from the start of the event. No Chase Leahy was one of them that had damage. Go back and see what happened. Right here on the restart. Oof. Once they all got jumbled up, '23 of Ryan Zunk slides up, hits the 48. That was its own incident. Then even it looks like Cole Gadgedoris may have had some damage on that. We'll see if we can't go in and talk to some of our drivers about what exactly may have taken place there. Admins, it's the broadcast booth. Do we know exactly what happened there on that restart? That's what I thought I saw. That's what I thought I saw. A lot of cars damaged early. Not what you want to see, but I wanted to jump in anyway and say welcome to Justin White. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for us up there in race control. I'm glad to have you on board. I know we all are. And enjoy the race, sir, and thank you for your services. But that's Justin White, our new race control. He's monitoring everything, making sure that we're... Ooh, gosh, you see all the damage there on Ryan Zunk's vehicle. That looks like it's going to be a fast repair used. I don't like seeing them Jeff Gordon colors all beat up. And I agree. The 52... That's funny. Some things never change. 52 has no clue where to line up. Well, you know, that's okay. He must have given himself an EOL because I think he qualified much better than that. But you'll see Ryan Zunk as he pulls down onto pit lane and those DuPont colors, he's going to have to use a fast repair if he doesn't want to ruin his chances at a good day. Other guys involved that you'll see on pit road right now, not them, they're not on. Looks like Josh Koner is on pit lane. Is that the 38 of Roger Diebold as well? He's also on pit lane. There's that beautiful 52 we've been trying to get a look at. Some of these camera angles that iRacing gave us are a little hard to grab onto and see the action. But as long as the cars are out there on the track, it's going to be a problem for us to see down pit lane, I think, for a good part of this race. So that's just something to keep in mind. Those are the camera angles that iRacing gives us. I do have a decent pit lane camera here, but it's not going to give me a lot of information, as you can see, with a under 40 car field. But that 52 car, that Crick Crew vehicle is looking beautiful. They found the logo, got the logo on the front. I mean, that is just a slick ride, because you know what it used to look like, and that's it fits it very well. Alongside of him is Tony Burleson in that Champion tire and wheel. That's good work by Cameron Henn putting that together. Took the Champion tire and wheel and made it look like that old logo. I believe it was Western Auto on the front of that Darrell Waltrip machine. Good looking ride there. Go back up to the top. The lights are coming off the pace cars, and already it's the Truexes and everybody else. 69 got away with spinning those tires. I'm sure everybody's going to be a little bit more nervous now with them and still leading this thing, and they know that they could possibly spin them tires again. Chase Leahy, matter of fact, why don't we do this? We will ride on board with Chase Leahy at the drop of this green flag. Still love the painted, the taped on number 1 you see there. That's a good look. We'll hop in the cockpit of Chase Leahy as we get ready to go green. Nobody spun their tires that time. Looks like a clean restart. You see Chase Leahy get a little loose there as the Truexes go off side by side, and Ryan Truex completes the pass on Tyler, and they are checking out, it would seem, but don't look now. The 19 of Matt Garrett, a newcomer in that Wawa machine, he's pulling away as well, and now it looks like it may be these three and a bit of a break when you get until you get to Chase Leahy and David Burns. But a much cleaner restart there as they fan out, and everybody now, like, this is your second chance to see what your car can do. You see just how quickly these cars can spread out here. This is not what you would call a 2-lane racetrack. You have one good lane that you can use, and then the other lane is usually using up somebody's quarter panels, which you'll see a lot of tonight, but probably not this early, only 7 laps into this 175-lap event. See these speeds that they carry into the corner. Take a ride with Sawyer Ott. You're in the throttle hard here, and you can't get on the brakes hard or you will lose it. You kind of have to coast in to these turns, and you don't really lose a lot of speed except for that smaller hairpin in 3 and 4. Right now looks like everybody's just trying to figure out their car. David Burns got a little bit of speed. He is catching Sawyer. Back there is Cameron Henn, who's now in a battle with Robert Walton in that McDonald's vehicle. The nice Bill Elliott throwback. That 94 Mac Tonight car was good looking then, and it's good looking now as it hunts the 5 of Cameron Henn. Side by side, they enter the turn. Is Cameron going to give it to him? Cameron gets in the wall a little bit, trying to give him a little bit too much room. This early, you almost, if you know a guy's got to run, you kind of just want to let him go and see if you can't learn to run how he's running the race. I mean, right there, you can see that probably a 2 or 4X on Cameron, just asking a little bit too much out of the lady in black and getting damage. there into the outside wall. That will be one of many Darlington stripes you see tonight. Look back farther in that beautiful City Chevrolet that Cole Gadgedoris is sporting. That was run by William Byron a few years ago at a Darlington throwback event. And then none other than Cole Trickle in that wonderful, wonderful movie, Days of Thunder. But don't look now. The 52 is a coming. Worked his way into the top 10, chasing down that 89 of Cole Gadgedoris. Whoa, you can see just how that wall comes out and tries to bite you. You're steering so hard, but trying not to lose the back end. And a lot of times you'll see guys almost dirt track it and use the wall exiting and really not do their right rear quarter panels any favors. 13 laps into the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. And already they're starting to fan out. I was wondering, I actually wanted to ask, and Senator Forget It, with Clap, were we going to see a spread out event clean like we had earlier at some of our mile-and-a-half races? Or was the mean lady of the Lady in Black going to bite these guys and cause a wreck fest? We had that little incident on lap 1, but now just about 15 laps in, clean. I think we could get spread out like this for a while, as long as guys are running their race. We may even have to deal with lap traffic later in this event. Looks like we got, saw just how loose it can get as James Stanger almost lost it coming out of 4. Him and Ray Fataruso running together now. Looks like they have dueling paint schemes, some kind of team paint scheme job. We know that, James Stanger makes contact with the outside wall. And that opens the door for Ray Fataruso to get under him, and also is making room for the 9, who I believe is a lap down. Josh Koner, he's multiple laps down, actually, unfortunately, due to issues earlier in that lap 1 incident. So right now he's just trying to ride around, figure his race out. But boy, James Stanger is having himself a handful in that 15. See them work the wheel a lot here. Wow. Oh, just like as we're talking, Ray Fataruso just dive bombed into the inside wall. Looks like he lost it. Looking at our instant replay instantly here, you can see he's already kind of lost it exiting 4 there. It does not want to go straight for him here. Actually, it looks like he made contact with the wall, and that just sent him straight up. Luckily, he was able to keep it going in the right direction, made hard contact to the inside wall, definitely going to up his incident count, but he was able to keep it going, and even though he's got some significant damage, doesn't look like he's totally lost. Sitting now in the 14th position. Looks like he is struggling a bit with speed, though. I need to apologize for an error earlier. The 9 of Cole Gadgedoris is actually... I'm sorry, the 9 of Joshua Koner is actually this Red Bull vehicle. There's some of the issues we were talking about with these new custom paint schemes when we have custom numbers placed on some of these cars. We have a Chase Elliott Jimmy Johnson throwback that is also showing the number 9, and I believe that should be showing a different number. I will figure out who that is so that I can call them correctly as the race goes on. But Josh Koner not having himself the best day, especially now when he sees that 40 car of Ryan Truex hunting him down. So we had some kind of issue with the 69 of Tyler Truex that unfortunately we weren't able to cover. I can't believe, like, there's a lot going on all of a sudden. Tyler Truex looks like fallen back. He may have had to pit. I'm not sure if it was strategy or if he made hard contact and needed to come in, but he is 9 seconds behind. Well, no. Okay, so it was just the timing screen updating due to a lapped car. Great, thanks. Very helpful. Telemetry. Don't you love it? Technology. Tyler Truex has fallen back to the 4th place, though, which not where he started. We know he was up to 2nd earlier, and he's a whole 10 seconds behind our leader, Ryan Truex, who is deciding to just go on a Sunday drive here at a track that is way too tough to tame, but looks like he's taking her to dinner. All the way across the other side of the racetrack, Cole Gadgetdoors in the 89. Give you an idea of just how far separated these guys are. But wow, he just makes an incredible save. And that gives Bobby Grant in that 14 M&M's Patriotic Paint Scheme throwback to a chance to get under him and complete the pass. Good pass by the 14 of Bobby Grant. See Roger Debo sitting in the 8th position with a very damaged car, and the yellow flag is out. Have to see if that was for incident. Looks like it may have been. Sawyer, yes, makes some significant contact with the 11, and it may have been a ping issue because you can see he disappeared almost instantly. Let's see if we can't ride along with the 11. See exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, that's going to really harm Brandon Cash's day. Oh, the 11 just comes down ever so slightly, gets into the 35, and it sends both of them hard into the inside wall and brings everybody in this field back together. Now the question is, are some of these guys going to make pit stops? Does not look like the leaders are, but some of our guys decided to go right ahead, I think. Actually, you can see our leaders coming in right now. Ryan Truex is the first one to come in. 4 freshies, I would assume. You can see his imaginary pit crew run over to the other side and go ahead and put 4 freshies on. He does have that number 1 pit stall. Shouldn't be an issue getting out of here. Spins the tires a little bit, gets them heated up, and Ryan Truex will maintain the lead. A lot of guys fixing damage here. You see some of these pit stops over 20 seconds long. That's all damage. If they're Dave Burns right there, he's one of the few guys, along with Tyler Truex, actually who had somewhat of a slow stop. He may have had some small damage to fix, but obviously some damage from earlier incidents that have to be taken care of. And while we're figuring out some early race strategies, I'm going to take a quick commercial break and chime in with the drivers and see if I can't get us a nice, pretty interview. We'll be right back, folks.
I'ma keep it going till
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC. Now's the time to get your landscape lighting system tuned up for the summer months. You're going to have people over your house. You want to have your home, your back deck, back patio, around your swimming pool, all your landscape lighting tuned up and ready. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342. We'll be glad to get that scheduled for you.
It's 8 a.m. Your car's engine is already hot. Now it's time to look the part. At Paint Correction by Associated, we know that it's not enough to just offer the best products and services. You need the best customer experience in auto detailing. We test all of our products on our cars long before we trust them with your ride. We start with our best foot forward.
Sorry about that, Paint Corrections by Associated. Appreciate the sponsorship, but the green flag is out. The Lake Norman Edits Southern 260 is back on her way, and Bobby Grant automatically on the start. Spins the tires. Looks like we may stay green. Remember, if it's a one-car incident, the caution will not come out. Back with the leaders. Ryan Truex, I apologize. Up to the front. Looks like we have a bit of a glitch showing the Cameron Henn actually ahead of him. Clearly not. Though that'll change once they come back around and hit the scoring loop. But Ryan Truex checking out once again up to a 1.5 second lead over Cameron Henn, who good to see up front. Sad to see that incident with Bobby Grant. I guess... Oh, and now there is another caution on the track. See, cautions, precautions, just like DW would always say. See what happened there. Looks like Ray Fataruso may have ran into an issue here. We'll watch this replay real quick. Looks like... Ooh. Oh, man. Chase Leahy, too much steam entering the turn and clips the two. Serious contact for both of those cars. Take a look. Back it up a little bit more. To the 34 of Chase Leahy. Sends it on in there. He may have been frustrated. I think the 34 was ahead of that too. He may have been frustrated as these two, it's not their first run-in of the season. The 34 just carries way too much speed, gets loose on contact, and sends the two into the wall. Tyler Truex narrowly escaped that one. That was close. We'll have to look in his cockpit at just how close that was. See the one, way too much speed. Tyler Truex narrowly gets by this one. Great camera work by our helmet cam. Close. And you can almost see the virtual Tyler Truex exhale as he makes it through that one. Well, they'll start to line him back up and try it again. We're going to lap 45 in stage 1. And already Ryan Truex dominating this event. You can see the 48 of Dominic Cahart getting a lap back. Or I'm sorry, that's the 40 of Matt Cherry. Dominic was running a Jimmy Johnson scheme last week. He may actually be running one this week too. See, just like the real broadcasters on Throwback Night, I need more cheat sheets in front of me. I can't keep these guys straight. Jimmy Johnson in the 48 got his lap back. There you go. Got it. Go back and rejoin our leaders, Ryan Truex. Maybe saving some fuel drafting up on the pace car like that. Roger Diebold in the 38. Carrying around a damaged car. I'm going to see if I can't find Roger. And see if we can't get an interview with the man. Looks like he may. He's in the admin booth right now. Hard to talk. Fortunately, Justin and Roger, those are two of our guys that we would chat with the most. They're in the admin booth with race control. Hard to jump in there and talk while our new guy, Justin White, is chatting up to some of the drivers and handing out either penalties or telling drivers where they need to go. He's doing a wonderful job, though. I was able to check in during the commercial break and just hear some of the action. Sounds real official up there in that race control booth. Pit road should be open, but I can't imagine we'll really have any takers except for guys that may be fixing damage. Yep, doesn't look like it. Oh, pit road's actually still closed. When it turns green, still, anybody comes, they've got to just be working out some of that damage that they got. If I were Ray Fataruso, I would go ahead and get some of that damage fixed now. We know he's made contact with the wall a couple times. And one of the changes in the new rules, you no longer get 21x. It has been increased to 16x, I believe. So, or decreased, I should say, to 16. So that's a lot less opportunities to hit something and not be penalized for it. He looks like he thought about going down pit road and then thought against it. Maybe did not get a lot of damage from that incident. Michael Grant in the 904, someone we have not talked about in this event. Running that Ford 50 paint scheme, a good-looking vehicle. Have not seen that paint scheme from him yet this year. Good-looking car. But I think he'd like it a lot better if it was looking up front right now. Not having the night that he wants to have. Started 15th, only moved his way up to 13th. Behind them, someone that we have not really been able to feature at all. Clapp got some damage. Not sure where he got that damage from. But trying to cover these leaders, and usually I'm covering Clapp within those leaders. Unfortunately, damage has hurt his night. He may have been involved in an earlier incident. He certainly did not sound like he was in the greatest of moods earlier when I checked in on him. And it looks like the green flag is out. Tyler Truex takes them, or I'm sorry, Ryan Truex takes them off. And once again, he gone. He's able to get by and send it off into the sunset. Tell you what, that 19 of Matt Garrett, though, he's been up front all day and still has a beautiful clean car just like Ryan Truex. It's insane to see Roger Diebold in that 38 with that much damage on that car sitting in the third spot. That's when you know someone is just throwing caution to the wind, and that car has some type of raw speed that the rest of these cars don't, to look like a brick and still move its way around the track like that. You can hear how much they have to pedal the throttle. Having to feather it just a little bit there. And you can hear those wheels disagree with just about everything Roger does when he tries to get back into the throttle. You have to be so light on the throttle when you're exiting the corner, because those tires want to spin and that car wants to go into the inside wall. We see it in real life, and we're seeing it virtually tonight. Another caution out on the track. It's like Dominic Cahart may have made some serious contact. So maybe he blew up and threw oil on the track. Not exactly sure. It was enough to bring out the caution. That may have been the second incident that he had in that event. Oh, now went from saying we're going to get nice and long and stretched out to being anything but that. Now here's a guy we haven't talked about yet today. Tommy Allen Jr. in that 88. That is a beautiful car. One of the best paint schemes ever made. Just an electric, get it? Electric paint scheme. Jeff Burton drove that back in the late 90s. It was a beautiful car then, and it looks even more beautiful now in the virtual scheme. A lot of your top 10 guys, they've been changing throughout the evening. We got Anthony Burleson, who's worked his way into the top 10 after falling out. Cole Gadgedoris was up there. He's sitting back in 9th, but I'm going to be honest, I'm looking at every single one of these cars as it goes by. You don't see a clean vehicle out there. Everyone has made some kind of love to that wall. There's Jordan Georgczak. That's the one that should be number 13, but is showing you at number 9. So just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, as you see the numbers tick by throughout the event. I mean, go to look at the damage to the 66 of Robert Walton. If you've already used your fast repair and that's what you have, unfortunately, that's a long night ahead of you. Looks like we have a bunch of cars slowing down, maybe allowing the lap car to catch up or get everybody in the proper order. Trying to see if we can find the 52. Yep, he is entering pit road. It has been opened up. And that beautiful 52 is looking dinged up. Of course, I know that Justin was looking to have himself a day with that very special paint scheme from Dennis Seeley, his stepdad, on board. It's unfortunate that looks like his night so far not grand, but boom, just like that, pretty again. Had to use his fast repair. I don't think he was at max speed, but the fast repair is applied and that thing is feeling brand new. So that's nice to see. Justin will be back at speed as long as he doesn't have significant engine damage. 4 fresh tires send him right back out there. And with only about, actually exactly 17 cars on the lead lap, it's not as bad as where you could be starting. We've had so many guys with significant incidents already that, as you can see here, a lot of guys already 1 lap down or more. Actually, no one just 1 lap down. Brandon Cash is your next lap car. That is 2 laps down. Some of these guys, like Dominic Cahart, not having the event that they wanted for sure, all the way in the 24th position, 14 laps back. I would assume, too, that this will be the stage end. It would be surprising if we are able to get the green flag back. Well, the lights are off the pace car. So we may have ourselves a 2-lap shootout for the end of this stage. That's what we came to pay the big bucks for. But it's free. It's free every single week, ladies and gentlemen. Like a night at New Egypt without the fast repair. Yeah. Yeah. Well, fortunately that fast repair kicked in and now he can forget everything that happened before and maybe get his way back up there, that 52. But the pace car pulls off Ryan Truex. Will he win the stage? Will he do everything he needs? There's something scary about him. It looks like a Bristol car. That is Roger Diebold in the 38, and we know he'll make the moves to win the stage. Let's hear him go through the gears, and the thunder rolls. Terrible start for the 19 of Matt Garrett, and that unfortunately hurt Sawyer Ott as well, but it has sent the 38 and the Truex boys up. It is those three for the stage win. Tyler Truex tries to get under the 38, cannot complete the pass. Whoa, you can see... Had to catch it a little bit there. Makes the move under Roger. They are side by side for second, as this will be the end of the stage. Ryan Truex is going to win the stage, and Roger Diebold will hold on the outside line to get the second spot in the stage. Take a look at your top 10 for that stage. Ryan Truex led essentially every single lap. Roger Diebold in that beat-up car gets himself second. That's a good 9 points. Tyler Truex, Sawyer Ott, Matt Garrett, two newcomers in the top 10. Tommy Allen Jr. in that Jeff Burton scheme. Chase Leahy, after some incidents earlier, still finds a way to get some stage points. Bobby Grant, same thing. And the 52, Justin Clapper, got himself in that Crit Crew machine up there into the 9th spot to get some stage points and take them away from everybody else. And so did Jordan Dworsik in that 13 Napa Chevy. Well, that's stage one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to see if I can't jump in and find me a driver to chat with. Hey, Cameron, this is Bo in the broadcast booth. Do you have me, sir? I am quite well. It has been a blast watching you out there in that beautiful 5 car. What does it feel like, though? Well, I totally agree with you. Couldn't agree more, actually, Wise. We saw you up there in the front for a little while, and like you said, once you lose it, it's so hard to get it back, especially if you're one of those, I don't know, 875 cars that have made contact with the wall. But thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for checking in. Good luck with the rest of the event. And hey, great job on a lot of those paint schemes, too. You do amazing work, sir. It's awesome. Thank you so much for all you do. Have fun out there. That is Cameron Henn in the number 5. I picked on him because he wasn't going down pit road. As I looked at the cars that were going down pit road, some of the guys I was going to ask questions to, unfortunately, well, didn't want to ask them nothing while they're trying to pit. Well, before we can get crazy out here, going to take a quick commercial break and get right back to the action for the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. We'll be right back for the drop of the green flag.
Hey, Bob Carr here with TLC Custom Lawn Sprinklers. I want to wish everybody a safe race during the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. We provide custom automatic underground lawn sprinkler solutions to folks in Maryland, Northern Virginia, and the DC areas. Give us a call here at the office, 410-721-2342.
RL Productions Commercial Advertising. Promoting your success story. Affordable cross-platform strategies. Tailored to your ideal audience. Serving Maryland business. With global brand elevation. For more, visit rlproductioncrew.com.
Tiki Lee's Dock Bar is Maryland's newest island oasis. Put your boat in the slip, toes in the sand, and a drink in your hand. Featuring heat-crushing crushes, the frostiest frozen concoctions, and brews both local and domestic. The kitchen serving up savory seafood and the best pub grub in town, including our gigantic Chesapeake crab pretzel. Tiki Lee's is fun for the whole family and for friends. Only minutes from Hart Miller Island and over 60 boat slips, too. Tiki Lee's Dock Bar in Sparrows Point off of exit 42. Have a staycation that feels like a vacation.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. This will be the beginning of stage number 2. Apologize for the audio issues, trying to get Cameron's interview in there. Yet another audio issue that we're battling with iRacing tonight. But solved it during that commercial break. Will not be an issue for the future. But that 52 is up front and going to take them through the gears as the Thunder rolls. And the 52 spins his tires, throws a bit of a block on the 69. And now they will fan out all around him as he is in the sucker hole. First time the 52 had been up front, and you saw what happened when you are that control car. It is so easy to get back in the throttle, and they are 3 wide ahead of him. Ryan Truex way down low. Makes the pass on both Cameron Henn and Chase Leahy. Tyler Truex will be your leader of this first lap in stage number 2. Right behind him is Sawyer Ott, and Ryan Truex made a bunch of moves around guys, followed by Justin Clapper and Matt Cherry. Have not seen him up in the top 5 yet, but here he is, and he's coming. Right behind him, I think we got a gaggle. Oh, right as we cut to Bobby Grant. Amazing save. What a save by Bobby Grant. We'll go back and take a quick look and then get right back to the action. But, ooh, still makes contact with the wall, but never loses it. And Tony Burleson just narrowly escaped. And the yellow M&M in that interview does not look like he's having a fun day. It's right back after it, though, back up to speed. It's hard to regain focus when you have an issue like that, though. Getting back in the rhythm is really hard at a place like this. Tyler Truex starting to get pressure from that 35 of Sawyer Ott. See Tyler Truex start his second up to first, but he has not been in these top 2 positions all day. He fell way back to 9th at one point and had to battle back through some traffic, got some breaks with some cautions, and now he is under pressure by Sawyer Ott in that 35. And just like that, you saw Sawyer Ott live make the pass around the 69 of Tyler Truex when he got really loose off of exit. And that opened the door for that Quincy's 35 to get right around him. And now Ryan Truex hunts Tyler. Well, I like seeing a newcomer up front, but it'll be interesting. I hope Sawyer's not looking in his rearview mirror because he's got a whole lot of TRUEX in his mirror, and that's a tough act to keep behind you. rejoin the 48 of Matt Cherry and Chase Leahy, who are having themselves a bit of a battle for the 4th position. Looks like the clap may have had another issue or is just saving his stuff. We know that he pitted before the stage end, and that was what made him be able to stay out there and get the lead. It's given him track position, but don't know if a couple laps on those tires made a difference or not. But if I were him, I'd play it safe. Let some of these guys by that you know already have some incident points, already have some issues, and run your race right now. And that looks to be what Clapp is doing. Join the 79 of Tony Burleson, and then Champion Tire and Wheel. Used to seeing Kubia's tackle colors on that machine. He's rocking that Champion Tire and Wheel Darrell Waltrip throwback. Look at that. We got a DW and a Jeff Burton car battling it out here for that last spot in the top 10. That's Tommy Allen Jr. right behind him. Roger Diebold is behind them by a click or two. He got those stage points earlier, but shockingly enough, it doesn't look like he may have not been able to fix a lot of that damage, or iRacing is just playing with us and showing his car as a damaged mess. Either way, it still looks good. Behind him is the 55 of David Burns. The 23, unfortunately, of Ryan Zunk is a few laps down, just trying to salvage himself a decent points day. Dave Burns, same thing. A lot of these guys now have to go into point-saving mode. As Sawyer Ott continues to lead up front with a little over a half-second lead, and Ryan Truex has made it around Tyler Truex, who is still fighting those loose conditions. There is the distance between him and Matt Cherry in the 48, who is starting to gain. It's unfortunate to see that James Stanger, last week's winner, is unfortunately retired from this event. It does look that way. He actually may have had to quit due to incident count. Ooh, 66, I believe that was of Robert Walton, is smoking. See if we can't grab. Yep, looks like the 66 Mac Tonight car, unfortunately, has burned his buns. That is a catastrophic engine failure. And if he's already used his fast repair, this will certainly end the night for the McDonald's ride. The ice cream machine is broken. There will be no more Big Macs. And unfortunately, his Reese's are all to pieces. But looks like he had the fast repair available. Hold your horses, everybody. They found fries in the back. Brand new batch of French fries. Cooked up Mac Tonight vehicle is out off. Use that fast repair on that blown up machine. He'll lose a lap or two, probably 2 laps on that pit stop. But he still has a day that can be salvaged. Someone else that was on pit road at that time was the 14 of Bobby Grant. Looks like he had to use his fast repair too. This is unfortunate. A lot of guys having to use fast repairs at an inconvenient time. You really don't want to have to come in and use that during a green flag. It doesn't take any extra time, but it does. I mean, you had to come down pit road because your car was completely non-functional. There you can see the leader going by him and putting him another lap down. But Sawyer Ott continuing to lead. We'll go to lap 90 here. That will be the end of stage number 2. Ryan Truex has not really allowed Sawyer to get away from him. The difference is just a half a second. You almost wonder if Ryan is learning new things about Sawyer, seeing that he has speed, but seeing maybe where he can beat him as he saves some tire for the end of this stage. Only get 4 sets, so you don't want to use them up all right now. That 40 paint scheme is a bit of a throwback, actually, to Ryan Truex's vehicles in the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. In that Mark, I believe it's a spa company, or yes, hot tubs. I was actually just in the hot tub last night. I don't have that kind of hot tub, though. Maybe Ryan can hook me up, because my hot tub is old. But hey, free's the best. Ryan Truex still sitting in second, though, and now he has made that lead. Well, goes from 3/10 back to half second, 3/10 back to half second. But someone that is continually moving forward right behind them, Matt Sherry, in that 48. Speed that we have not seen out of the 48 a lot this season. He's put himself quite a distance ahead of Chase Leahy sitting in fourth, and Tyler Truex all the way 7 seconds now behind what was once his lead. A lot of distance between them. Matt Garrett, someone else that had speed earlier, now a full 10 seconds behind these leaders. And caution is out on the course. Looks like it may have been the 5 of Cameron Henn. Well, nice move by Clapp there, but I don't believe that was the caution. Looks like we don't have any clear view of actually what may have happened there. We'll see if we can't get in touch with the driver and find out what that yellow is for. Sawyer Alt continues to lead. Before we go and check with some of the drivers, we will check down pit road as it is open and cars are jumping down. Ryan Truex using some of that real life experience to get real close to Sawyer, which can be a bit of a scary thing. If I'm no good at entering pit road, so I like to give some room between me and the other guy. But it can give you an edge, as it looks like Sawyer may have. Nope, he's well in his box. It's just a bit of a weird paint job on that there. Ryan Truex in that number 1 stall. Will he be able to use advantage of it again? Tyler Truex just coming in and overshot his box, so his day just goes from worse to worser. And Matt Sherry will beat them all off pit road with following Sawyer Alt out there. And Roger Diebold, well, he stayed out. Hate that it does that. It looks like Sawyer Alt won the race off pit road with Matt Sherry in tow. Then Chase Leahy in the 34. Gotta wonder if Ryan Truex may have had a bit of damage that he decided it was time to fix. I mean, a 25-second pit stop, you don't do that just because you need to get a cannoli. Interesting scenario. As Ryan Truex will have to fight through traffic again, and someone that will really have to fight through traffic is that 69 of Tyler Truex, who is still on pit lane. It's been on there for almost a minute, will come out after 55 seconds on pit lane. Hard day keeps getting harder for Tyler Truex. But new leader, 38, Roger Diebold. Take a quick second and thank Roger for the sponsorship. Lake Norman Edits. Appreciate the sponsorship. They are a photography, videography, and aerial service company. You know, drones take all types of visual shots for you, and they do amazing work. I love to see what Roger does. He's done some different drone stuff at go-kart tracks that is very exciting to watch, and aligns a lot with what RL Productions does in Maryland here. So certainly at some point in time, I think RL Productions and Lake Norman Edits are going to have to team up on something because it's very exciting work that he's doing. And we appreciate the sponsorship and the prize money that he's giving out tonight. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's not too late. We have until lap 90 to put in your votes for the favorite paint scheme back on the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational Facebook group. You can pick your favorite paint scheme, and the best paint scheme will be awarded a cash prize for the best paint scheme. So be sure to get those votes in if you haven't already, or even drop them in the comments who your favorite paint scheme is out there. And some of you, I think, may be a little biased, and that's okay. I can tell you right now that still, I've said it a couple times now, that Chase Leahy, the simplicity of that scheme, but it is still one of my favorite schemes out there. Same goes for Justin Clappers. I love seeing these schemes that are based off of someone's real car, especially when it's not a paint scheme that everybody's seen before. That's real exciting stuff. Lights are off the pace car as they go down the Boeing backstretch. Roger Deball and Sawyer Ott are going to clash for the real estate as they enter turns 1 and 2. The Thunder will roll. Just about 20 to go here in stage number 2. Who will get that valuable playoff point? We'll see.
Green flag, green flag.
Sawyer Alt able to clear the 38, and Matt Cherry will follow. If you're clear of somebody entering turn 1, you see how much speed you can carry. As Chase Leahy makes hard contact with the wall, and he's going around, and that's going to all these cars fan out, a gaggle everywhere. Chase cannot stay off the wall. He's almost parking himself up there intentionally just so he doesn't climb back up down the track and take out any other vehicles. But that was scary. We will stay green as that was a 1-car incident. Remember, there has to be 2 cars involved to bring out the yellow flag unless there is a critical engine failure on the track and they see something they don't like. 19 of Matt Garrett climbing back up there after being in the top 5 earlier today, gets around Roger Debold, our points leader. I believe he's a points leader. Yes. Just check the bits. Ryan Truex. We knew that you can't keep him down. He had to restart, I believe, in the 6th or 7th position. He's already back up to 3rd. But Matt Cherry is the most impressive driver in this second stage to me. Did not know that he had this much speed earlier in stage 1. But now you can see he is making ground on Sawyer Ott and putting the pressure on him. Well, he was, and now I think he has to start playing a little bit of defense because that 40 of Ryan Truex is trying to find a lane to get around that 48. Swift moves. The 48 lost some speed, and so did the 35. The 48 goes to the outside of the 35, gets around him cleanly. Huge pass for the 48. Almost loses it on exit. All of this giving an opportunity for the 40 of Ryan Truex and the 19 of Matt Garrett to get into the party. Now Matt Cherry sailing off as the 40 and 35 stall each other out. These 3 cars are in quite a battle, but you can see just how quickly things can change if you get loose on exit or you make any type of contact with the Lady of Black and put a stripe down. Matt Garrett makes the move and completes the pass around Sawyer Alt. Ooh, he's losing it. He got incredibly loose. The air was taken off of him by the 35. And somehow they both made it through. You heard how sideways the 19 was. And now they're almost a full 2 seconds behind the leaders. Ryan Truex, though, can smell the clean air. He knows that if he can get around Matt Cherry, that it'll be smooth sailing once again with only a few laps remaining in this stage. But Matt Cherry is racing for points. He does not want to give it to Ryan Truex. These are bragging rights, and these are playoff points. Tyler Truex going to try again. Ooh, a lap car in the way. That's the 904 of Michael Grant, I believe. He said that lap traffic could play. Wow, you can see just how loose Ryan Truex gets there, but look at the hands keeping it off the wall and getting it back going straight. Dives hard into the corner, trying to make the 48 make a mistake. 6 laps to go in the stage. It's time to complete the pass. Using it up as he goes around. He might be able to get clear on the outside. 48 Matt Cherry tries to pinch him down. So close to the wall. Completes the pass. New leader, number 40, Ryan Truex. Matt Cherry doing everything he can to get back there. But I think that Ryan Truex is going to check out and sweep the stage. 1 and 2. Go back and look through our field a bit here. Ryan Truex, your leader, Matt Cherry, sitting in second as the laps wind down in stage number 2. Matt Garrett maintained third after that issue with Sawyer Ott earlier. Sawyer Ott following far behind now in fourth. Cameron Henn all the way on the other side of the racetrack. We talked to him earlier. Unfortunately, audio issues kept our audiences from hearing what he said, but it was all fun things he said. Trust me. Based on what he said, I did not think his car would be sitting here in the 5th position, but he's getting after it and making these laps count and getting him some stage points. Behind him, Tyler Truex, a very up and down day, followed by Tony Burleson in that DW-inspired car. David Burns in the 55. Tommy Allen Jr. in that Jeff Burton car. And Roger Diebold will round out the top 10 as they sit now. And this will most likely be the running order for the end of this stage. No real challengers inside that top 10. Ryan Truex, something you don't want to do with only a lap to go on the stage is deal with lap traffic. And naturally, he's dealing with lap traffic and actually makes a bit of contact with the wall. He's saying, will you please move? And certainly got out of the way. Appreciate there by that lap car. Hard days for a lot of guys out there, so it's nice to see someone cut the 40 a break. Chase Leahy goes a lap down as well after damage that he had earlier. Now Brandon Cash in danger of going another lap down as this stage comes to a close. Ryan Truex getting after it, trying to put as many cars a lap down as the lap cars are running into each other in front of Ryan Truex. Ryan might want to back it down. Not the scenario he wants to be in. Don't get your car wrecked by someone else's reindeer games as the 11 of Brandon Cash. And I believe that's would be the 13 are getting after it.
Yellow flag is out.
That will be the end of stage 2. Ryan Truex sweeps them both. Your top 10 in that stage. Roger Diebold did get that last spot, and look at the distance. 23 seconds dividing the top 10. But Ryan Truex sweeps him. Matt Cherry, promising speed, finishes in second after getting passed late. Tyler Truex still able to come back to a fifth. What will they be able to do in stage 3? Find out next after this commercial break. It is the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260.
I'ma keep it going.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, as the leaders are entering pit road. Earlier, we saw Ryan Truex lose the lead at exit. Be interesting to see if that happens again, as Matt Cherry was able to beat him off, and so is Sawyer Alt. They had really fast pit stops as Ryan Truex fixed some damage. Matt Cherry is in. A little crooked in the box, but that's okay as the imaginary pit crew gets to work. Ryan Truex already working on the right sides. And he will win the race off pit road this time. Matt Garrett and Tony Burleson, followed by Matt Cherry, who lost some positions there. And then Cameron Henn perhaps had some damage to fix, and even more damage to fix for that Tyler Truex machine. See if we can't talk to one of our drivers. Hey, Matt Cherry, this is Bo up in the broadcast booth. Do you have me?
Yes, sir.
Well, Matt, you are having yourself a day. You are showing some speed that I don't know a lot of these guys we're going to see out of that 48, and you are showing them up there. It's unfortunate you lost that lead there at the end. What were you doing to try and keep that 40 car behind you?
Well, I about lost it a couple of times, so I just backed off. I'm better on a long run here than I am a short run. Short run, they'll get me every time, but I've always got some tire left there at the end.
That's a smart play. I think we might find ourselves in some long run here as we have a lot of cars with multiple laps down, but we're starting to see lap traffic come into play here. How are you able to maneuver around these cars when we can see how loose you guys are out there already. What's it feel like when you have a lap car to your inside or your outside, and then you're still trying to complete passes on lead lap cars?
I'm not really worried about what the car is going to do. I'm just worried about what the other driver is going to do. Because, you know, a lot of these guys are out here driving. They're just very unstable, and I don't trust them as far as I can throw them.
Well, we appreciate you checking in with us, pal. I think you've got the speed to do it. I'm putting your name in the hat. I think I'm going to see that 48 Lowe's machine in victory lane. So you go ahead up there and you do the damn thing, all right?
I'm going to try.
All right, thank you, sir. That's Matt Cherry, driver of the 48, hanging out in a room with Sawyer Alt. Believe they are teammates virtually here in this event. Sawyer's first event here. It's nice to see these guys working together. So with that being the end of stage 2, we're going to get our tally together and see who is the winner of that poll. Before we do that, we were going to take her to green as they get those results put together. Green flag is out. Ryan Truex and Sawyer Alt on the start line. And Ryan Truex once again clears everybody and hauls ace. But Sawyer not going to give it up easily. Sawyer hunting down that 40 of Ryan Truex. But Ryan just, when some of these cars look like they're on ice, he looks like he is the ice man out there on the track. He is stable. Even when it looks like he's about to lose it, he grabs it instantly, showing his skills tonight. That 48 of Matt Cherry, though, we just talked to him. Now getting right up against the 35 of Sawyer, seeing if he can't get into the second position and get another crack at that number 40. And we haven't talked a lot about today, Jordan Dorzak. He is in 4th place in that technically number 13 Camaro. In that Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson paint scheme. As a Chase Elliott fan, I like seeing it. Roger Debo sitting in 5th. With that damaged car still getting after it. You can see he's been able to fix some of that damage as he got the nose back on that Toyota Camry. But he is under pressure from Tyler Truex. It's a code orange on the track as these two battle it out. If I were Tyler Truex, I'm not sure that I would bump draft that. That red thing you see, that's the gas tank. Don't hit that. See, Tommy Allen Jr., he's behind Tyler Truex. Getting pressure from, I believe, some maybe fresher tires in the 34 of Chase Leahy, who's had himself another heartbreaking day, unfortunately. Sitting in the 14th position, 2 laps down. After really having himself a decent stage 1, hurting now. Matt Garrett starting to make a move on Tommy Allen Jr. Matt Garrett certainly putting the pressure on the 99, or the 88, who actually put so much pressure on him that he was able to get by him right there. Looks like the 88 actually may have made some contact. Yep, trying to get a little bit too much and just ever so slightly scrape that outside wall and had to get out of it. Sometimes all you got to do is apply pressure. Matt Garrett moves himself soundly into that 7th position. Well, we're going to talk about someone who's sitting in the 9th position. And unofficial results right now on the paint scheme contest. 79 of Tony Burleson in that Champion Tire and Wheel DW-inspired throwback is the winner of the Best in Show paint scheme competition for this Throwback Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational event. So congratulations to Tony Burleson. He has won the big prize with that beautiful paint scheme. And thank you to Cameron Henn for putting that together. That is a beautiful looking ride. We've seen it done in real life, but we have not seen it done with a brand like Champion Tire and Wheel having their logo done up right in the Western Auto style. So great work by Cameron. Great jiving by Tony Burleson as he sits in the 9th position now, maintaining some ground ahead of the 55 of Dave Burns. Someone who's having himself a hard day. That 52, your commissioner of Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational, sitting in 13th position, 1 lap down. It's Justin Clapper in that 52. He is the only car one lap down, though, so you know that he's praying for a caution so that he can get himself the lucky dog and get back on the lead lap. And with only 12 cars on the lead lap, that puts him in position to still get a decent finish out of tonight. Getting pressure now from Cameron Henn, who has, I believe, he's in the 10th position, has just made a pass around David Burns and is now going to work on Tony Burleson. But Clap, he's a competitor. He's like a Ryan Newman out there. He's not going to let you buy a lap car or not if he thinks he's faster. But Cameron Henn, for the moment, gets by and moves about. Check back up with our leaders, and I might as well just go to the hot dog stand because the 40 car is dogging this whole field. 4-second lead at this point right now. Take a look at his stats. Started first, is first, fastest lap of the night, and even his last lap is still a burner for considering how long these cars have been out here on these tires. Ryan Truex is putting on a clinic here at the Lady in Black. Track too tough to tame. I think he's took her to dinner, and now he's working on getting her in the Uber. Take a look at some of our cars we haven't talked a lot about tonight. Josh Koner. He's had himself some run-ins, some issues. He's even had some internet issues that were some that is hard to control out here. If your internet service provider is just having a bad day in your area, it can affect your race. That pretty patriotic Red Bull paint scheme, it's a scheme we have not seen him run before. It may be a throwback, but it may just be a badass paint scheme to run at night, and that's certainly what it looks like to me. Sitting 3 laps down now, racing a couple cars. Bobby Grant in the 14, also 3 laps down, and Robert Walton in the 66. We saw him use his fast repair earlier. Still very much in this race, trying to get those valuable points. When you have this many guys laps down, you know that your race is a race of attrition. Maybe you turn on your favorite song and you just take a little Sunday drive and try to just survive out there. Behind these guys is Brandon Cash in that awesome looking Mark Martin paint scheme. Have not talked a lot about him today. He was involved in an early incident and it's just been downhill from there, the poor guy. He's one of our rising rookie stars, just like myself. We were both very excited to have good, clean runs at Las Vegas. And it was nice for both of us to be finishing near or at the top 10 the last couple weeks. Steven Lachinsky, talked about him earlier. He's 4 laps down with Brandon Cash. And now Robert Walton has also gone 4 laps down as he's been passed by the blazing saddle speed of Ryan Truex, who is now opened up to a 6-second lead almost over Matt Cherry. Our last car on track that is just trying to learn as he's a newer driver in this league, Dominic Cahart, number 58, showing 12. Ooh, makes contact with the wall, but you see, that's okay. As long as he's out here trying to learn and get the seat time that he deserves. He's not been in too many events thus far, so he's just having fun, putting in the hours, putting in the work, and I'm sure soon enough he will be a front runner in the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. That's the point of all of this. Some of us are rookies, some of us have been here a long time, and Dominic himself got him iRacing, I believe, just not too long ago, but he's already moved himself up to a licensed D, and I'm still a rookie, so he's technically better than me as far as the licenses are concerned. Coming down pit road now, maybe work on some of that damage. Not really racing against anybody with being down 16 laps, but good to get seat time and learn how to get on pit road and off pit road, because Xbox don't do that. iRacing, you got to get down pit road and do it all yourself, and that can be a daunting thing for some of us newer drivers. I know it was for me. Check on Ryan Truex, who stopped off at Walmart, got his groceries, came back to the track, had himself a sandwich, and regained the track, and is still 8 seconds ahead of Matt Cherry and Jordan Dorsick, who is now sitting in the 3rd position ahead of Sawyer Ott. Sorry, that's Jordan Durasic. His name does always throw me for a loop. I apologize in advance, always. We've had a lot of guys, unfortunately, had to drop out of the event. Ryan Zunk, Cole Gadjadoris, James Stanger, last week's winner. 2 of Ray Fataruso, the 86 of Christopher Terry, and the 26 of Greg Vielle, who I don't even believe gridded up. I believe he had an issue right before the start of the event. But a lot of guys that were racing for points today, especially if you look at James Stanger, Ray Fataruso, and Christopher Terry, these are guys that needed to keep those good nights a-rolling. Unfortunately, not going to happen tonight. Let's check in on the 69 of Tyler Truex, who is sitting in the 11th position. He is now, with this blazing speed that Ryan Truex is putting down, the number one car 1 lap down. And all the way back a couple seconds behind him is Clapper, who now is not the only car 1 lap down. And is going to have to get around that 69 car in order to be in the lucky dog position. So now, for the moment, Clap is not saying, please bring out a caution. Especially if these tires are getting used up at this point, you don't want to do a wave around this late in a tire run. With 52 actually making a move, looks like down pit road, short pitting to try and get himself in position to maybe catch that caution later and do what he did at the end of stage 1. Like Larry Mack always says, if you follow the leader and do what the leader does, all you'll do all day is follow the leader. So doing something different here may be what the 52 needs to get back on track to a competitive finish here. He will go multiple laps down, though, as that is a gruelingly slow 50 mile an hour onto pit road. Looks like he may have actually... That was a drive-through penalty that Clap had to do, unfortunately. So, actually, day from bad to worse. I'm sure I could go into race control and ask him how he feels about that, but I think I'll fill in the blanks with a sensor beep. That's that new rule where we now have fewer incident points that you can have throughout the evening. And once you get to 16, you must do a drive-through penalty. It's unfortunate for Clap, unfortunate for a lot of guys who got to those incident points early with the melee. But Ryan Truex continues domination. Let's see if we can't key up Justin Clapper here and talk to him about what just occurred. I'm going to mute their mics just in case. Hey, Justin, this is Bo in the booth. Do you got me, sir? I'm going to key up one more time. Justin Clapper, this is Bo Condon in the booth. Do you got me?
I got you.
Looks like, unfortunately, may have just had to do a pass-through penalty. Was that an incident point pass-through?
Yeah, unfortunately, the 66 kind of lost control there. The 55 went to avoid it and made some contact with me, and I had to do a drive-through penalty there for an incident.
Well,
but,
that's
I don't mean to get quiet on you here, but I got the leaders coming up my tail, and I'm going to get taking care of that real quick.
Go ahead, sir. Do your job. You can see there is no break out here for these drivers. They do not have a lot of time to talk, especially as Anthony Burleson wrecks and gets into the leader. I would say Tony Burleson, just as we talked about that beautiful paint scheme, unfortunately has dinged it up right in front of the leaders and made contact with Ryan Truex. That could have been disastrous for the 40. take a look at it. 79 getting past here, makes contact with the wall, and hits the... Oh, how did the 40 not go around? Talent. That's how. Let's see what it looked like through his eyes. Can see Tony is slow, out of the gas, knows he's carried a little bit too much speed. Makes contact, and oh, Ryan just makes the right moves with that wheel to save from going around and keeps it moving. But unfortunately for Tony Burleson, that is going to hurt his chances today. The leaders are on pit road, and Tony, after that wreck, will have to take a waiver round. Ryan Truex on pit road, pulls into that #1 spot, and with all that lead that he had, it's just him and everybody else. They're still rolling down pit road. Matt Cherry just got to his pit. Roger Diebold comes in. He's in his pit. And by the time they're all sitting in here, it's going to be time for Ryan Truex to go. Maybe fixing that damage. Smart play. You have a large advantage. Yep, 24 seconds into the pit stop, but Sawyer Ott will win the race off pit road. He didn't have any damage to fix, so this still lots of damage on that 40 of Ryan Truex, changing the dynamic of this entire event as Sawyer Ott and Jordan Jurassic get off of pit road in first place. I'd like to key up Sawyer Ott and welcome him to the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational and welcome him to the lead. Hey, Sawyer, this is Bo in the broadcast booth. Do you have me, sir?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Well, first off, I'd like to say welcome to the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. And second, I'd like to say welcome to the lead again, my friend. You look good out there.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's fun to come out here and race with Justin Clapper, Roger Diebold, friends with those guys. Friends with Matt Cherry here. Obviously, we're working together tonight, but yeah, it's been a fun race. Decent so far. Got a little bit of damage on a couple of the restarts, but overall, we've kept it together and managed to drive our way to the front a couple times. So the 40 car is really strong, so we'll just try to see if we can get a lead here and just hold them off. But good race, still a lot of laps left, so we'll try to keep it clean and see what we can get.
Yeah, misfortune hurt the 40 there. You've been in the lead before, and he was able to get around everybody. What do you have to do to keep that 40 in the back right now?
I'm not sure. I tried to save tires there in the last run and just let him go and hope that he burned them up and fell back to me, but that didn't happen. So maybe I need to go hard here. And I don't know if it runs green, we're going to have a lot of laps left. So I don't know if saving tires is the way to go, but if we have another caution, we've got another set lay-in. So
nice.
Let's see how it plays out here. I'm going to go hard on this restart and just see what we can get.
It's good to know you got that other set, Money in the Bank, sitting there. Well, I'll tell you, that Quincy's 35 looks beautiful, and don't tell Matt Cherry, but I think that 35 is going to get the victory tonight.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you guys.
Now Matt's going to be mad at me. All right, boys.
Nah, you're good.
You'll get back up there, too. Thanks, boys, for chiming in with us. Lights are off on the pace car. Enjoy the restart, and go get it, Sawyer and Matt. It was Sawyer Ott and Matt Cherry, the 35 and 48 respectively.
Hang on, we're not going green.
And sounds like race control decided not to send green this time. We're adding a lap, most likely to fix an issue where someone is not in the position they're supposed to be. Sometimes that happens when you have guys that have significant damage. You may have a EOL penalty that does not need to be served, but just the way they drove across the line, they have to change where those cars are going to line up. An EOL, by the way, everyone, is an end-of-line penalty. That's what that is. Sometimes you have to hand those out to some of those lap cars that know they're not at speed. It's kind of a gentleman's thing so that they don't clog up the restart for the leaders. Well, real quick, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of our drivers back in the day with a nice good old throwback. Yeah, those are some of our drivers and some of our admins, Kyle Newkirk and Roger Diebold in there. You saw some of their throwback photos. And Roger Diebold, speaking of which, looked real confident on pit road there, but I'm wondering if he's feeling just as confident with that 40 car sitting behind him, wanting that lead back. Let's see how they do on the restart as the Thunder will roll with the laps winding down.
Green flag, green flag. Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Humongous wreck on the backstretch. Humongous wreck as we were seeing the 40 try to go under the 38. Hard contact for all the cars back there. We will go and see just exactly what happened to cause that humongous impacts from some of those cars. See, it was actually two different incidences. Looks like we had two different wrecks essentially on that restart. We'll look here first at Matt Garrett and see what happened with him. He makes contact. That was actually before the first wreck. Check the 13 of Jordan Jurassic. See how he got damage here. Looks like they all mainly had issues on the restart. Oh, big impacts for Chase Leahy. But I'm having a hard time seeing who started it. Perhaps it was the 9 of Jordan. Oh, and Matt Cherry involved. It's what it looks like happened is the 9 of Jordan Jurassic. Oh, Matt Cherry, wrong place, wrong time. Hard impacts for both him and Chase Leahy. Goes airborne. The 9 of Josh Koner involved. Altogether, like 10 different cars involved in that incident. Huge impacts for Matt Cherry, who's going to have to use his fast repair if he hasn't already. Looks like he's coming in now to go ahead and use that fast repair. Look at it from the nose of Justin Clapper as they started wrecking in front of him. Tries to lock them up, and then they all just came across the track. Matt Cherry, nowhere to go. Hard licks. I believe Jordan has came in on the stream chat to chat with us and says, well, my day is done. And that is unfortunate, sir. That beautiful Napa 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet with the Jimmy Johnson throwback scheme was looking like it had some good speed out there. Sorry that your day has ran into a ejectocito, cuz. Meanwhile, Sawyer Ott still leading. He'll have Roger Diebold alongside again. It's almost a complete redo of the last restart here.
And not alone for this restart, as unfortunately the 52 machine is loaded in a hauler.
That is real unfortunate, my friend. She looked so good out there. You used your fast repair. You were trying to do everything right. You got that penalty, and then you saw there just you had nowhere to go. They just blowed it up in front of you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was just one of those deals where nowhere to go. You try to avoid it, just trying to get the laps back, and guys decided to just come sliding up the racetrack. But all good. Up here with you, and we'll get ready to take the green here.
Beautiful.
Green flag, green flag.
Glad to have you, sir. As they go back through the gears, the Thunder will roll, and Roger Diebold tries to beat Sawyer off the restart, but Sawyer is still able to clear him into one.
Yeah, big tire spin there by Sawyer out on the outside line there, but gets the position over Roger Diebold, and Ryan Truex hanging in tough all over the backside of Roger Diebold as they enter turn 3.
I know you had yourself a tough day there, Clapp, and had a lot to look at, but if you could see this 40 car all day long, he has been a rocket. He went to Walmart, got himself a sandwich, came back, still had a 10-second lead earlier. I swear to God he did. And now he moves around Roger and now goes to hunt Sawyer Ott, who said he was not sure how to keep that 40 behind him. He thought saving his tires would help. Now he's going out there and he's going to use them up and see if he can't keep that 40 behind him.
Yeah, and then not only that,
Yellow,
look
yellow,
at
yellow.
that 40 machine. As we see, the caution flag will wave here.
Some guys don't belong to drive their grocery cart. Is that what I hear?
Yeah.
Well, we'll go back and see exactly what happened to cause that kind of negativity. We had an issue here with Steve Lipinski and maybe Dominic Cahart. Not seeing anything yet. Do the little cheat code. Oh, okay. Looks like the incident had already happened when he made contact. 14 of Bobby Grant involved. Big contact with him, and he makes contact with Tyler Truex, who was still battling on the lead lap. Oh, the 14 hits the wall. That clips the 69 and sends them both hard into the inside wall. Tyler Truex's day goes from great to worst to bad to great to bad to good to bad and to absolute trash.
Yeah, been a roller coaster day for a lot of drivers tonight. Tyler Truex being one of them, without a doubt. A lot of the frustration in the race chatter right now.
We can actually hear some of the audio bleeding through there, and they're using colorful language, Clap. You understand that those frustrations, tensions are high right now. We only have really just a few laps left in this thing, especially if we have an issue where the 40 gets around the Sawyer Ott. That could be all she wrote. And then everybody's going to want it to be a wreck fest just so they have a chance at that 40 again. I tell you though, Clap, before we get too silly and the lights come off the pace car, are you with me? I just wanted to kind of take a look at something.
Sure. What are we looking at?
Well, got some nice throwbacks for you, pal. Chase Leahy in his 2005-2006 quarter midget. That's the paint scheme you see out there with the taped on numbers. And a beautiful photo of you and Dennis rocking one of the first times you ever pit. And then explain this one to me. What am I looking at?
Well, looking at nice. That's Wildwood, New Jersey there. The under the boardwalk go-karts. That's definitely a throwback there. And that previous photo was from my very first year pitting at Nashville Fairgrounds with my stepdad there, who I paid tribute to with his original dirt car paint scheme, which unfortunately we weren't able to bring it home in one piece tonight. Kind of a wonder if that's just a curse of the number 52 there. It seems to be, unfortunately, a pattern of issues that keep you from finishing the race. But had a strong car for sure. Definitely on the long run, she really came to me, and we started to click them off there. And I was just doing everything I could. But the problem is, man, you get towards the back half of this top 10 and back into what a lot of the guys on Door Bumper Clear call the bee's nest. And it really is just that. It's just a swarm of chaos. And you try everything you can to avoid it. And unfortunately, wasn't able to do so. So here I am in the booth. Had a lot of fun out there tonight. Justin White is doing a phenomenal job as the league admin. He's really laying down the hammer on these guys and letting them know that, you know, these are the rules and we're going to follow them. And it's been a blast. But, you know, looking forward to seeing how this restart goes. You got Sawyer Ott. He is the commissioner of the Iron Thunder Racing League. You hear me talk about that league a lot, where a couple of these drivers that are front runners in the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational came over from. And speaking of that, tonight's sponsor, LKN Edits, the owner, Roger Diebold, joined us from that league as well, side by side with Ryan Truex. So it's kind of cool to see the two leagues roll into it, as Ryan Truex just dished out a warning to the field and says, boys, have at it.
Interesting. Wonder what that's about. What a word from Ryan Truex. He's coming for him. He knows that he has the fastest car out there. Let's hope that hubris doesn't bite him in the butt. The pace car is off. Sawyer Ott has control of the restart. They will go on green. Can Ryan Truex clear Sawyer Ott? As they barrel down into one. So far, side by side, Sawyer uses it up and makes contact with Ryan Truex, and Asking You Shall Receive.
Wow.
A save by Ryan Truex and Roger Diebold.
Amazing save.
Roger Diebold takes the lead off that misfortune, and Sawyer Ott is gone.
Tough luck for Sawyer Ott as they make contact towards the back of the field here. I'm taking a look at that myself as Sawyer Ott and the 19 make slight contact. He's trying to make his way back through.
He has to be frustrated. We talked with him. He knew he had a fast car, and after hearing that warning from Ryan Truex, he had to do something. But boy, that cost him the race, and could have cost Ryler. Here we go. Could have cost Ryan Truex too. Save though.
Absolutely, as you see Roger Diebold starting to pull away from the lead. I'll be really curious to see if Ryan Truex can start to click off some lap times and run down Roger Diebold here.
We've seen him do it all day long. He's been just a nightmare for these drivers. You think that he's small enough in your rearview mirror, and just like you can see out of the angle now, he just comes and he gets bigger and bigger.
4 tenths faster that lap time by was Ryan Truex at a 29.19 compared to Roger Diebold's 29.50. Fastest laps of the race right now are being clicked off by these leaders.
Wow, that's impressive. Makes contact, comes right back. Fast lap 28.96. That was the last lap. And just like that, he is on the rear of Roger Diebold.
Absolutely. And you got to wonder how much of the rearview mirror as it looks to the inside. Ryan Truex.
This could be
making the move.
Easily
clears the 38. But Roger Diebold going to look for a crossover off of 2. Doesn't quite get the nose there with that modified looking damaged 38 car. Roger Diebold has yet to use his fast repair, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking about that a ton in the admin's chat before I had joined the booth, and he was letting us know that he has yet to use that fast repair.
That's
so out here having an incredible run with a lot of damage. As you see, the rear clip of that car completely gone on that 38 machine.
At one point, the entire nose was gone. I guess he got that damage fixed. They went ahead and put it back on. But my goodness, I bet you now he wished to use that fast repair at some point, because that 40 car is starting to pull away, and nobody in this field wants to see that except for Ryan Truex.
Absolutely. And Roger Diebold running that Christopher Bell Venturini Motorsports Arkham Menard Series throwback scheme to his first year pitting, sweeping the races at Salem Speedway that season. Hanging on tough and what almost looks like an ARCA car with the way it's beat battered out there.
Correct.
But Ryan Truex with the cleanest car by far all night long, and Cameron Henn keeping it clean in the third position. We ran side by side for a while. Very fast hot rod is that number 5 AJ Foyt throwback.
We talked with...
Now, Bo, who did win the vote for best in show? That I did not get to
I believe
find
the official results have it as Tony Burleson. So Tony Burleson in that DW paint scheme is the winner of the best in show paint award.
A beautiful, beautiful Darrell Waltrip throwback made by this man that we're looking at right now, Cameron Henn.
Yeah, we talked with him earlier and unfortunately had an audio issue. We will have to get him back. We're not going to do it right now while he's sitting up here in the top
he's had
3.
some audio issues all throughout the night, and that's been well communicated throughout this race this evening.
He's doing a hell of a job now. No need to talk or use the audio now when you're sitting third and in just a safe spot right now. Doesn't have any pressure, but he might hear in a minute because you look, Sawyer Ott, I'm sure he's pissed the hell off. He has worked his way back to the 4th position and is trying to chase these guys down, but is he going to have to use too much tire to get there?
Well, I'll be curious to see if he's got any sets left. I mean, I still had 2 sets remaining when I had to exit the race car, and I'm actually kind of shocked where I thought tire wear was going to be a lot worse than what it is. Tires, you can make it a full run if you hang on to it long enough. But with that being said, Sawyer definitely burning the rubber off of those tires, and he will need a caution as well as Roger if they want to have any kind of shot at catching that 40 machine of Ryan Truex, as he has almost a 3-second lead right now from what I'm looking at here.
Yep, you can see he's that little dot all the way up there that you can barely see. That's what Roger's chasing right now. And from the looks of it, he's going to be chasing it for a while. Somebody I do want to talk about, too, is David Burns, who has quietly moved himself into the top 5. One of those cars that really didn't get in a lot of those up and down issues. He's just been running a real behind the scenes in the shadows race, and now he's sitting in the top 5. Definitely needs a strong finish because he's been that guy that's been involved in incidents a lot of times, not to his own doing throughout the season. Matt Garrett as well in the 19. We saw him have his fair share of issues earlier. He's back into the top 10. It's a lot easier to maneuver these kind of things when we have this many cars that have had such high incident counts. If you still have that fast repair, if you're still able to get back on the lead lap with a wave around or a lucky dog, you can get yourself a quality finish when you've had this many big incidents like we've had. He is under pressure right now by that Jeff Burton-inspired X-Side 99 looks. His is a Chevy, but I believe it was a Ford. And he is getting chased down himself by the winner of that Best in Show and that Western Auto Champion Tire and Wheel vehicle. And, this is really our only 3 cars lead lap that are together right now battling. Everybody else has good and plenty spread out. And actually it looks like Tony is the lucky dog as it sits now. Tyler Truex involved in that incident earlier, and things are about to get worse for Tyler Truex as Ryan is sitting in the hot tub behind him with that beautiful 5-second lead and about to put Tyler Truex, a leader earlier in this event, 2 laps down. as we look at these two pretty Truex machines, one having a wonderful day and one having not so wonderful of a day. Once I want to see if Tyler gives Ryan a lot of room first, just knowing the family values here and knowing how frustrated Tyler Truex was with the incidents earlier.
You see Cameron Henn starting to get a run on Roger Diebold now for the second position.
Yes, Cameron Henn right there on Roger, actually.
And Roger's not going to give this spot up easy because Roger, running for the championship, knows that these Truex boys are who he's going to have to battle when we get to the playoffs. And we're only about 8 or 9 races away from the playoffs. So every point matters right now for Roger Diebold. So he's not going to give it up to this part-timer of Cameron Henn that easy.
No, and I would tell Cameron, if you want, this is probably a good time, don't hit that back bumper. That red thing's the fuel tank, and that'll explode. Don't do that. That is not the kind of car you want to bump right now.
Sideways off the corner, Sawyer Ott giving every ounce of effort to get himself back to the front.
You know he has to be frustrated. We talked to him right before the break, and you mentioned earlier, wondered if he had a set. He does have a set remaining as we come to 15 laps. Get ready to come to 15 laps to go. A lot of guys out there praying for a caution so that we can use that new set and put on those 4 freshies. But I don't know if they're going to get it the way that these guys are spread out right now.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen. At least not as spread out as they are, as Ryan Truex is just clicking them off lap after lap.
He is maintaining a 6.5 second lead. Certainly not as good as his 10-11 second lead that he had earlier, but, you know, why would he show off at this point? Cameron Henn's not able to really make any ground or lose ground on Roger here. They seem evenly matched. Roger's doing a fantastic job of taking away any lane that Cameron could possibly use to get around him. Looking back at our leader, I believe he was able to clear the 69 of Tyler Truex without incident. Before we get too lost in this event, now that we got Ryan Truex and Tyler Truex kind of hanging out together, I want to take a look at one of their old throwbacks. There's Tyler Truex with his 69 Legends car. He's been using that number a long time. And I love this photo. Ryan Truex in the MWR Camry for the K&N East series back in the day. And Bobby Grant, back when he worked for Ray Everham Motorsports in the 9, driven by Casey Kane. Great photo with him and family. And a great driver out there. Unfortunately, there he is on screen, not having the bestest of days. Caught up in some incidents earlier, and actually just caught up most recently in an incident with Tyler Truex. One would hope that there won't be, this late in the race, any type of retaliatory issues between lap cars as Roger Diebold, or as Ryan Truex continues to pull away and get an 8-second lead. Cameron Henn missed it while we were checking out those pictures, but Cameron Henn did complete the pass on Roger Diebold.
That he did, and something that I'm currently taking a good look at right now is the helmet cam of Ryan Truex, and just watching the way he's methodically moving his way through the racetrack and through lap traffic, and the way that he is out of the gas is incredible to see that he can have this kind of speed, which I'll go ahead and take you through a lap here as we are coming out of turn 4 and coming to the start-finish line. You can hear him really ease into that throttle. And as he's going down this straightaway here, he sees the lap traffic up ahead. You see him go to the bottom. He really wants to slide up the racetrack. You want to try to get it as close as you can to where it says Darlington, South Carolina there, just like Ryan did, and ease back in the throttle. You see about quarter to half throttle. And once the nose straightens out, you see him getting around the lap car of Brandon Cash there. Oh, and there he goes with a Darlington stripe into turn 3. Very easy to do that there. It is
just
very,
a kiss.
very tricky corner.
Just a kiss. Does look like the car is not as agreeable as it was earlier.
That is not. It's definitely one of the most difficult tracks that we've gone to all season. One of the most difficult that I've ever driven on. That is a understatement and a half, but very, very fun racetrack. When I totally understand when you hear these drivers on a professional level talk about the harder the racetrack, the more fun it is, the more into the driver's hands. And that's exactly it. Just unfortunately, when you got guys that don't know how to handle that or are still learning, it becomes a little bit of a trickier atmosphere out there on the racetrack.
No doubt, no doubt. And speaking of tricky, Sawyer Ott with that tricky restart earlier has made it around Roger Diebold, who continues to fall back and is now working on Cameron Henn.
Sideways into the outside wall. Ryan Truex hangs onto it still, but very, very loose exit off of turn 4, giving it everything he has.
We will take a look at that.
He may have a big lead here, ladies and gentlemen, but do not think that he is holding off.
So I could not see him get that. Looks like he still got himself a 10.5-second lead, so it ain't all bad for him.
He's still digging really hard here, but it's just going to show you the handling of these race cars out here. That's your leader kicking it sideways.
Oh, big impact with Sawyer Ott and Cameron Henn. Humongous impact. They keep it straight.
Hard into the outside wall. Cameron Henn. Sawyer Ott is on the move.
Take a look back at it at half speed. You see Sawyer Ott is there. Doesn't really pressure Cameron Henn, but Cameron Henn carries too much speed. At the same time, the 35 did too. And they both get squeezed. Cameron Henn, unfortunately, on the worst receiving end of that. Roger Diebold skirts under. And now Cameron Henn does not even sound like he's able to get full speed out of her. All the while, all of this fun, and Ryan Truex, almost 11.5-second lead with 4 laps to go. This has been one of our more entertaining and interesting events in the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. A little bit of everything here. Honestly, it's kept me on my toes. Thank God for you, Clap, coming in here. It has been hard to capture the action and make sure you don't miss everything, because with this many cars and only really one lane of traffic, there's action everywhere.
Absolutely, and I can tell you as a driver being out there, it was every lap, and I apologize for being so short on some of these interviews, but every lap you're sawing on that wheel, just hanging on for dear life, doing anything and everything you possibly can to keep that racetrack and all 4 tires on the racetrack. And you see that here as we are coming to 2 to go. Ryan Truex hoping to not see the yellow flag wave, and every other driver praying.
Yellow flag is out.
The
and a
yellow
caution flag waves. Just as I say that, I jinx it.
Roger Diebold was involved. I'm not exactly sure what happened.
This could change everything, Bo.
I believe it just did. We're seeing what may have occurred. Looks like Roger Diebold loses it all by himself.
Oh, and just hard impact on the inside wall. Very easy to do here. You know, some viewers at home may look at that and go, oh my gosh, he spun it out. Why would he do that? You know, he tried to get it. I promise you that was not an intentional caution.
No, we saw that he was losing speed throughout. He lost all those positions. The only
The
reason
40 coming down pit road, Bo.
I think you got to. We're looking at him right
I
now.
agree. I think you're going to have to come down pit road here, but do
And-
guys stay out? This is a green-white checkered finish.
Well,
we saw this happen in real life. Look at Regan Smith, for one, that is quick to the memory bank of guys that stayed out and were able to hold off guys with fresh tires at the end. Sawyer Ott does that and stays out. Cameron Henn as well.
Now, you got to think about this too, Clap, and it's all for not now because Sawyer Ott and Cameron Henn did decide to stay out. With such a humongous lead for Ryan Truex, he almost didn't have anything to lose by coming in because his pit stop will be just about done by the time that Roger Diebold or any of the other guys even get to their pit. As you see, he goes out and Roger's not even in his yet. Now, granted, Roger was involved in an incident, but you would have seen a similar thing. He had a 17-second jump on the second-place guy entering pit road, but that just gave Sawyer enough time to get the word from his spotter that the 40 did enter pit road. And although he will have 4 fresh tires, he will not be on the front row with only a green-white checker ahead of him.
No, he will not. And this will be interesting to see what the lineup will be. Well, Sawyer Ott now coming down pit road.
Interesting. Why? I wonder why they're coming down the second lap. Maybe with only so many cars on the
I'm
lead
wondering,
lap.
did Ryan Truex pit in a closed pit?
Goodness, he may have. It may be worth checking in with our race control. We are alive in race control right now. Did Ryan Truex pit on a closed pit stop? Or pit lane?
Good review. He's not claiming, he's not asking for a black flag clear. I'll go back and take a quick look at it. I don't think he did.
That would certainly ruin his day, but it is interesting that all these lead lap cars pitted after the fact. I wonder if they just saw, well, hell, he went, so now we better too. There's only a few on the lead lap. That may have been what happened, but it was interesting looking in the booth. We'll let you get back to it, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll certainly be interested to see if that's what happened, as Justin's going to hang back and get the official word on whether or not that was the issue. We've seen that before with issues where drivers in the moment make...
I think we finally have official word on what happened there. So when Ryan Truex came down pit road there, Sawyer Ott forgot to pit.
Okay.
It looked like he had missed pit road, and then with that decision of him coming down pit road with only 6 cars on the lead lap, those guys decided to come down pit road with him and get those fresh tires where originally they were going to stay out and gain the track position. So Ryan Truex maintains the lead.
Well, good. That would have been scary.
And Tommy Allen Jr.
Look at that. Catbird seat, if you ask me. Roger Diebold, he used his fast repair.
Fast repair used and lined up towards the tail. Now, one of the penalties that we talked about, he was given an EOL because being the cause of the caution, you are sent to the rear.
Makes sense to me. It's unfortunate for Roger, but like you said, only a few cars out here on the track. The pace car is going to come off. This is the Lake Norman Edits Southern 260. Thank you to Roger Diebold and everyone else. We are green, white, checkered. The Thunder is rolling.
Sawyer Ott with a good restart right alongside Ryan Truex. Both of them get a huge jump over second and third, but Ryan Truex tries to clear them and doesn't quite get there. Sawyer Ott hanging tough on the outside.
He might try to cross.
Is Ryan Truex.
Sawyer Ott, this is going to be the move. If he's going to try, it's going to be right now. He was not able.
Doesn't quite get there as we come to the white flag. Next flag ends the race.
Ryan Truex already starting to pull away. He's done it all day long. Sawyer Ott really has one last attempt. You can see how hard he is wheeling it, but is he going to be able to get even close? Throwing it.
Sails it in, and it doesn't stay. Almost gets there. But coming to the line, Ryan Truex. He will take it, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner of the LKN Edits Throwback Southern 260 goes to the driver of that 40 machine, and Ryan Truex.
Great finish, a finish we all deserved, and a finish Ryan Truex deserved after a dominating performance. It's always scary when you get that green-white checker towards the end, and you know that, all that hard work disappears, and so rewarding to come back and show everybody, no, this is why I had that big lead. He will come down to the stripe, and like I said earlier, the too tough to tame lady in black, it was his date. He took her to dinner, and now they're getting married. He's burning them down.
He sure is getting used to doing those burnouts as he collects another checkered flag here in the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational. Does Ryan Truex.
That's a hell of a burnout there, too. Cameras can barely see him. He's got such good smoke laid out there on the track. His hot tub's on fire. Burn it all the way down the front straightaway. Showing, look how fresh my tires are. Look how fresh my tires are.
Hands down, the dominant car of the evening.
No, it was Ryan Truex and everybody else. We saw strong performances from some other drivers like Tyler Truex, Sawyer Ott, but unfortunately, when it came down to it, Ryan Truex was just waiting with bated breath to get that lead back. I think he's going to keep this burnout all the way down to the next track we go to. He's taking this burnout to 5 Flags.
And that's exactly right. That's where we are next week. Well, I'm sorry. We're at South Boston, I believe, next week.
He's still taking the burnout to 5 Flags. Good Lord. That might be burnout of the year. And he has backed out. So just like that, burns it down. And Elvis, Ryan Truex, has left the building. Your winner in the LKN Edits Southern Throwback 260. Well, Justin, what a race. What an event. One of the weirdest, wackiest, most intense races we've had all year around. I mean, I was head on a swivel all night long. No bathroom breaks, no sit downs, just absolute intense action all over the track. And a lot of it has to do with this classic layout of Darlington. One lane, the other one involves punting somebody. And we had a lot of drivers get frustrated and punted tonight, but a lot of good racing to boot for it.
Absolutely. And speaking of great racing, we have second place finisher in the booth right now, Sawyer Ott. Sawyer, do you have a copy? Let's try this one more time here. It sounded like that was some difficulty there. Sawyer, you got us.
10-4, I got you. Can you hear me?
There we go. We got you loud and clear, my man. Well, you gave it everything you had. You were right up there in the front. You dropped back a little bit, worked your way through the field, and lined up side by side with Ryan Truex there at the end. Take us through that final restart.
And overall fun race. Second was pretty good. I didn't know I'd be able to come out here and run second, but yeah, me and Ryan had a good battle. He was definitely the fastest car all night, but yeah, I thought I threw it away on that restart where I just got loose under him and hit him a little bit. Glad we were both able to save it, but yeah, just up and down. I got some damage early and drove through the field a couple times, but saved that quick. We got the green white checkered. I took the quick fix and my last set of tires, so I had the best car I had all night. So I was like, well, if I got a shot, here it is. And you know, with getting the outside lane, I was like, okay, well, maybe I can do something. And I was able to get through the gears with him side by side, but going into one, I don't know. Maybe I could have pushed it a little bit harder. And you know, we ran side by side through 1 and 2, but he was just a little bit faster. So good run. It was a lot of fun just racing with these guys, and it was a long night, a lot of laps, but I'll take second. league, and yeah, I've been Justin's raced over there with us before. So and I've run one other race. I think it was Talladega, one of the first races, but it's been a while. But back out here and yeah, just put together a good run, even with some issues, still able to climb back up there and yeah, Ryan just he hats off to him. He was fast all night. Appreciate you guys for having me. Have a good night.
You too, man. Great run tonight. That's Sawyer Ott, driver to number 35, finishes second tonight. And Tom Allen Jr., he gets himself a third place, I believe, here. See if we can get him into the booth.
You got him.
I'm here.
Tommy Allen, congratulations on a podium finish there, my man.
Thank you.
Not somebody that was really up there all night long, but you kept it in one piece and you kept it there until the end, unlike myself. Man, it was a wild, fun, and exciting race throughout the night. Definitely a roller coaster. Take us through the ride that you had tonight.
I was really just trying to be as cautious as possible, just trying to play it safe. I did. I got caught up in one wreck towards the end there. That second to last caution, I'd used my fast repair, so I was being really safe. But that last one kind of worked out to my benefit, and I was just survival of the fittest, kind of just keeping in one piece. And I definitely wasn't fast at all, but it's a privilege to be up there.
Well, that 88 machine sure did look good out there, and another great finish for you. Running at South Boston next week in the trucks. We're back on short tracks. What's your mindset after a podium finish here at such a tough racetrack of Darlington as we go into 3 very tough short tracks over the next 3 weeks?
Next week's gonna be tough. I've never raced that track before, so a lot of these tracks are my first time racing them. So it's all kind of new to me, and I'm just kind of just going with it, and just hoping. Been trying to race everybody as clean as possible, and just play it safe, and it's been working out so far. So just trying to keep it up. And I got stage points today. I never get stage points. That's pretty cool.
Hey, they mean a lot. So once again, congratulations on another podium finish for you in that number 88 Chevrolet, and we'll see you next week in the trucks for South Boston. That's Tommy Allen Jr., driver of the number 88, finishes
Thanks, guys.
P3 in LKN Edits Southern 260.
I tell you, I'd love, real quick before we go off air, I'd love to hear from Roger Debo on the 38's first race. We done did the whole race and never heard from good old loud Roger. Roger, what in the hell kind of event did you have tonight?
Well, I figured if I was going to sponsor one, might as well be a wild one, and I guess it didn't disappoint. It was entertaining for sure. Not really the finish I wanted, but P5 and some stage points. Can't complain too much about it.
You were certainly hanging it out there, sir. You had what looked like a modified car in the like a Welling car out there the entire night, and still were able to be so competitive. How terrible did that car feel with all that damage?
Well, not great. It was definitely completely different than running the clean race car. It was weird. There was no nose, so it was super tight on entry, but then there's no tail. So as soon as you step on the gas, it wants to come around, which is what happened on that last caution there. I mean, it looked super intentional because I did need a caution, but I promise you that was completely unintentional. I was actually just talking to Sawyer about kind of times he was running and whatnot, and seeing if I could get up with him and what it would look like when I got there. But I mean, it kind of worked out. It kind of didn't. Would have been 2 spots better if we would have stayed green. But I don't know, man. It was tough to drive all night. I was just trying to hang on.
Well, and we said the exact same thing in the booth, that it certainly did not look like an intentional thing. When you don't have even a rear deck lid on your car, yeah, it's going to feel weird coming off the corner. We seriously thank Lake Norman Edits for coming on. as the sponsor for this week's race. I've been pitching it throughout the race, but anything else you can say where people got to go to find LKN Edits out there?
Yeah, I mean, we got a website like normanedits.com. It's just lknedits.com. I got a Facebook, Instagram, or I mean, you can just get with one of the admins, or or me directly, and we can have a conversation if anybody wants to do any photography work, or needs some land mapped with the drone, or just wants some really cool party shots out on the lake, or in Nashville. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
But yeah, I mean, we can really do anything. We do racing, fishing. I mean, I've done weddings, and it's really anything you want done. I'm your man.
Love it. Sounds good to me. I'm in the field, so I know how it is. That's a lot of fun, especially doing that mapping with the drone. That's some good stuff right there. That's a lot of fun. So thank you for the sponsorship in this race. We appreciate it. I know Ryan Truex appreciates it because he gets to have some of that prize money, as he usually does. And thank you to everyone for coming in with these throwbacks paint schemes. We talked about them throughout the entire event. Beautiful schemes all night long. I mean, the only thing that didn't get out there on the track was my throwback paint scheme, but no one wanted to see that anyway. It was a Jeep Power Wheels done in Jurassic Park paint that literally looked terrible. So thank God that I didn't have to run, because no one would have wanted to see that ugly mug out there on the track. Instead, everybody had beautiful paint schemes for our first official Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational Throwback Night. So excited to bring this back next year when we really have an event to throw it back to. That's the goal. That's the feeling. And Justin, final thoughts as we get ready to sign off. Justin is muted. My final thoughts are loving it. Great race. Congratulations to Ryan Truex. Another dominating performance from that 40 car. And we will be going to short track racing now. So none of them 11-second leads, though.
Sorry for having my mic muted there, but for my final thoughts, without a doubt, would be being conservative. I think everybody's got the mindset now that, they know what we're going to do. They know what to expect. They know that we mean it when we say that these rules are going to hammer down. And we want to thank Justin White for everything that he did tonight. He did a phenomenal job running race control, and a lot of frustration from guys because of that. But hey, every racing league needs a sanctioning body and needs officiating. And Justin White did a phenomenal job in coming in as an outsider and getting that job done. So we thank him for that, and we hope he can stick around with us and make this a long-lasting relationship with the Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational as we head on next week back to short track racing, South Boston, and then we go to Five Flags. Right after that, 2 short tracks that we've never raced on in real life with these vehicles, and a lot of these guys never raced at all. So we're going to be very, very exciting these next 3 weeks. You're going to want to tune in, ladies and gentlemen, at twitch.tv/Thunderclap Invitational for all the action for the Lightning Before the Thunder pre-race show at 8 o'clock with myself and Bo Condon every week. And then if you're looking to sponsor us like Roger did, shoot us an email, thunderclapinvitational@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Thunderclap Stock Car Invitational, and even on Instagram at Thunderclap Invitational. So pretty much you look us up, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to find a page of ours somehow, some way, and we'll link up and hopefully build a relationship for the future. So thank you all for watching. And Bo, take them away, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining and watching and being a part of the LKN Edits Southern 260. We will be back again next week, just as Justin said. I believe, be broadcasting that one as well, because I don't know anything about a South Boston. I've never even been to North or normal Boston.
They have phenomenal bologna burgers.
Well, a bologna burger sounds good, and it sounds like something I can get in the broadcast booth when you have to be there in race mode. So, nanny, boo-boo.
Only if you got the fried onions and mustard, Bo.
I'm down for it. Sounds like a plan, Stan. Thank you again, Justin White, for hopping on board and being race control and being that voice of God that we so desperately needed. Thank you to all the drivers for your throwback paint skis and all the extra effort that was involved with throwback. Thank you to LKN Edits for the sponsorship. And thank you all for viewing. This is Bo Condon saying, see you later, and let the thunder roll.